Hi everyone, it's Helen Horta here, founder of Form Help, and we are on the Traveller Declaration.govt.nz website, and we are going to complete our New Zealand Traveller Declaration. Now this is as of the 10th of October 2022, and let's go ahead and select Complete Your Declaration. Now we will come to this page here and we want to get started, so go ahead and select Get Started. Now before you travel, have a read of all of this, and it says please allow 10 minutes to do this. Your declaration will be automatically saved and a link will be emailed, and you can use this link to return to your saved declaration. Now to complete your declaration you will need the following: your flight number and date of arrival to New Zealand, the passport you are entering New Zealand on, and to list the countries you have visited in the last 14 days, your contact details in New Zealand, and details of a person who can be your emergency contact. Now let's go ahead and get started. Now, the New Zealand Traveller Declaration collects your travel and contact tracing information for COVID-19 requirements. So read the policy there. And it says here, I have read and understood the privacy policy, and I understand how my personal information is being collected and used. Now, if you have understood that policy and you understand how it works, and you're happy to go ahead and put a check in the box, then go ahead and do so. And here it says, I am completing this declaration for my own travel. If you are, select yes. And if you are completing this declaration on behalf of somebody else, then select no. And it says here, I'm authorized to complete this declaration for the traveller this form is for. Now, if you're filling in this form in behalf of like a family member, a friend, or just somebody else who's authorized you to be able to do that on your behalf, then go ahead and select yes, and you will need to enter your email address there and then proceed to continue. Now, because I'm filling this out for myself, I'm going to go ahead and select I am completing this declaration for my own travel. So let's go ahead and proceed to continue. Now, what you need here is your passport information. Okay, so you need to enter the details from the passport you will be using to travel to New Zealand. Now go ahead and put in your given names as shown on your passport, your surname as shown on your passport, your nationality as shown on your passport, and then go ahead and enter your date of birth. So put in the day and then the month. So for the month, you need to put in the letters, the first three letters of the month. So if it's Jan, it will be Jan, Feb, Feb, and so forth. And then go ahead and put in the year of your birth. Next, you will need to put in your passport number as shown on your passport, and then go ahead and put in your passport expiry date. And again, the format is day, month, and year. So go ahead and put in your contact email address in this section here. Now this is where we will send confirmation details and how we will contact you in New Zealand. So please ensure you can check the email address while in New Zealand. Now when you've done that, go ahead and proceed to continue. Now once you have proceeded to continue, you'll come to this page here where it needs you to confirm that you are not a robot. I am not a robot. Confirm. Now, as you can see here at the top, it says My Declaration. It says your declaration has been automatically saved and can be accessed again from your email. And then you have your upcoming trip, so there's no trip details here. So let's go ahead and add in our trip details. Now your flight information, it says that you need to enter your flight details. Now, does your trip to New Zealand involve more than one international flight? Now, if it does not, then go ahead and select no. You need to put in the date you will arrive into New Zealand. So go ahead and put in the day, the month, and the year, and then put in your flight number for your arrival flight into New Zealand. Now, if your trip does involve more than one international flight and you've selected yes, then you need to put in the first international airport of departure. So put it in this section here. So say you're flying from the UK to Dubai to New Zealand, okay? So that involves more than one international flight. So your first international airport of departure would be the UK, all right? And then go ahead and put in your time of departure, so local time, UK time, and then the date you will arrive into New Zealand. So go ahead and put in the day, the month, and the year, and then put in your flight number for arrival flight. So in our example, I said if we were flying from the UK to Dubai to New Zealand, you would put in your flight number for arrival flight, which would be the flight from Dubai to New Zealand. All right, so go ahead and put in your flight details and then proceed to continue. Now, because I've only got one international flight, I'll just go ahead and put in the date of arrival into New Zealand and then my flight's number, and then proceed to continue. Now, once you have put in your flight number for arrival flights into New Zealand, confirm that the information matches your flight details, all right? So once you've confirmed that, then go ahead and select I confirm that these are my flight details. Now, if your flight number does not automatically show up here, then you will need to type in your flight details manually, all right? So let's go ahead and proceed to continue. So under this heading here, it has your upcoming trip details. So those details will be in this section here. In this section here under travelers, it should have the travelers details here, and it will also have their reference number in this section here. Now underneath tasks, in this example, we've added our passport details. We've also added our trip details. Next, we need to add our emergency contact information. So let's go ahead and do that. Now for your emergency contact, please provide the details of someone we can contact if we can't reach you. Now they don't have to be in New Zealand, but please let them know that you have given us their details. So go ahead and put in the name of the emergency contact there. Put in their relationship to you, so whether they're a family member or a friend. So their contact phone number here, put in their country code. And what you can do is, there we go. So if you just type in a number, it will show up with all the country codes here. And then go ahead and put in their emergency contact number, and then put in their email address. So the emergency contact email address, and then proceed to continue. Okay, next we need to add our contact tracing information. So go ahead and select that. Okay, next we come to this section here, your contact details. Now, how can we reach you once you are in New Zealand? So the email address that you entered in earlier, your personal one, should automatically show up in here. And if it doesn't, then go ahead and enter your email address there. Please provide an email address you check regularly, so in that section there. Next, you need to go ahead and put in your contact number while you are in New Zealand. So put in your country code and the number that you can be reached on. Put in your physical address that you are at in New Zealand. And if you are just visiting New Zealand, what is your expected date of departure? So go ahead and put in your day, or the date, the month, and the year, and then proceed to continue. Now the last task we have is to provide travel information. So let's go ahead and select that. Okay, so this is your recent travel information. Now please include the countries you have visited or will visit or transit through in the 14 days prior to your arrival in New Zealand. So any traveling that you have done 14 days prior to your arrival in New Zealand, they want to know what those countries are. Okay, so in my case, I'm flying from Australia, so that is showing up Australia, and then enter any states that you have traveled to 14 days prior to your visit to New Zealand. If you need to add other states, then go ahead and add another state. If you need to add another country, then go ahead and add another country. Once you have completed that, proceed to continue. Now, a common question I get is, do I include, as part of the countries that I have visited, the country that I have flown from? So if I've flown from Australia to Fiji to the UK to New Zealand. The question they're asking is, do I include Australia as my home country, which I live in, and that I don't consider myself a visitor to, or I'm from Australia? I would go ahead and say yes, include Australia in there. Okay, hope that answers that question. As you can see here in this example, all our tasks are actually complete. So your passport details, your trip details, your emergency contact information, your contact tracing information, and your travel information has all been completed. So let's go ahead and submit the declaration. Now it says here, if you've made any changes to your details, you must resubmit to get an updated traveller pass, all right? So let's go ahead and submit declaration. Now it says here, thank you for completing your New Zealand Traveller Declaration. You have already read the privacy policy, so make sure you do read that privacy policy. Now over here it says, I understand the New Zealand Customs Service, the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment will collect, use and disclose my personal information. This is to be consistent with the COVID-19 Public Health Response Act 2020 and orders made under that Act in order to support and monitor your compliance with any public health requirements such as contact tracing. Now, if you understand that, then go ahead and check and then proceed to confirm. Now, your New Zealand Traveller Declaration has been submitted. Your information will now be assessed. If you meet the requirements, you will be emailed a Traveller Pass. Now, the email will contain a QR code unique to you and unique to this journey. Now, I've just received an email and it will be my Travel Pass. So that is how fast you can expect to receive your Traveller Pass. Now, once you have submitted your New Zealand Traveller Declaration, you should expect to receive an email like this, which will say your New Zealand Traveller Declaration has been accepted. Your New Zealand Traveller Pass contains a QR code, which is unique to you and this journey. So it says, please print the attached Traveller Pass or save it to your device. So either print it or have it saved on your device and have it ready to show at check-in and to border officials when you arrive in New Zealand. So your pathway for entering New Zealand is quarantine-free travel, and you can enter New Zealand quarantine. So in addition to your approved New Zealand Traveller Declaration, you will still need to meet any immigration requirements. So if you are required to have any visas, make sure that you have those. And then you should have a New Zealand Traveller Pass like so. And you'll also have it in PDF form like so. Okay, so that brings us to the conclusion of our New Zealand Traveller Declaration tutorial. Hopefully you found that helpful. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It's Helen Hortai, founder of Form Help, signing out. Bye.